I want to go over sort of a few things. I mean, there's a lot of myth out there. There's a lot of sort of people talking, a lot of gossip. And the last sheet we'll go over today is sort of what I call myth or reality. And I think one point we sort of getting sort of really want to talk about. We talked a little about sort of grades and SATs, but we talked about all the other factors, the interviews and your personal statements and your interviews and other things that go on. And schools now there's no such thing as applying to college anymore. We call it much more marketing yourself to go into college, okay? It's a little bit of a different mentality, okay? Applying to college is just filling out a bunch of forms and sending it in, okay? Marketing yourself to a school is giving that little bit of extra, okay? It's giving that a couple extra hours to your personal statement to make sure it's really good and really solid. It's giving a little bit extra when someone from a school, you going to visit a school and actually meeting with a person from in the admissions office, okay? It's a little bit extra when if you know an alumni from someone who went to that school, you ask them for an additional recommendation, okay? These are the little things that make it different from applying to a school to marketing yourself, okay? And admissions is a really competitive process, and we're talking about admissions rates at most schools being way, way down nowadays, okay? Because there are many more people applying, and there's also a really good global candidate pool applying, okay? It's more important for you to think about marketing yourself to a school rather than just applying, okay? Applying is just filling out forms, just sort of writing an essay and sending it in and seeing what happens, okay? Marketing yourself is really getting a vision, focusing on sort of how am I going to get into the school, how am I going to give my best resources I possibly can, how am I going to submit the best information I can to this particular school, particularly on those areas that are controllable. The personal statement, preparing for your interview, things like that, all perfectly controllable aspects, okay? And so marketing yourself is just a little bit more extra work than just filling out forms and applying. Reality also is that competition is stiff, okay? Competition is stiff. Lots of schools that wasn't stiff before, okay? A lot of programs within schools that's very, very stiff, okay? Why people are applying to more schools, they want to see what their options are. But I really want to emphasize once again, this is a huge investment you're making, not only monetarily, but in terms of time and in terms of energy, okay? And also, the U.S. education system is sort of the most impressive in the world by far. And people from around the world now are preparing to go to U.S. colleges. You'd be surprised. Okay, you'd be surprised at how many people from countries you've never even heard of want to go to school here. So competition is stiff. Premier schools have single-digit acceptance rates. Okay, a lot of schools now have have really generous financial aid packages. Acceptance rates are way down. Why? More people are applying. That means more people applying. That means they're not increasing the number of spots. They keep that pretty much solid across the board.